Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to talk about Proc Datasets procedure. Proc Datasets procedure is one of the very useful procedure in SAS programming where you can manipulate your SAS datasets. So you can do a variety of operation on your datasets. For example, you can do copying, you can do renaming, deleting, as well as modifying datasets. So here all these operation or changes are possible in your datasets level. You can do these modification in variable level as well, but the mainly we use proc datasets when we wanted to perform these operations in datasets level. So here I'm trying to generate few datasets. These are the new datasets that will be generated in my work library when I will run this program. So you will see that in work library I have 4 different data sets. So let's start, doing, some practical example of proc datasets procedure. So proc datasets procedure, if I wanted to know the list of the datasets in a library. So for example, what are the datasets are in my work library, how I can know that. So for that, you have to use this you have to provide this library is equal to work, because I'm interested to know about what is in the work library. So when you will run this program, you will get this result. So if you will look the member type data, you will see the list of the data sets that are in the work library. You will get other information also related to that library or associated with that library, but our interest is only with the data. So you can check other libraries also, because you can see I have here test library and test2 library. So and nothing is here actually. So when you will run this program, you will get nothing in your data type. So you will see you will not get any information here, no matching members in the library. So this is very useful to know that. And if you are interested only in the data, not in the other information associated with the library, because in the previous example you showed other informations are also coming with that library, but we are interested only what data type actually data are in that library. So in that case, you have to use options mem type is equal to data. If you will use this option, you will get information only about the data sets present in that particular library. So let's run this program and you will see you will get only the information about the data sets. Those are present on that specific library, which is work here. So this is the very important and useful tool when you are working a very large number of data and you wanted to look which library has what kind of the data. So that information you can easily get from the proc datasets procedure using this program. And the next example is that how you can look about the attributes associated with that library. So for example, here I'm again using the work library, and here I just wanted to know about the attributes associated with new class, or let's change it like I am doing it to the new cars. So if you will run this program, you will see the list of the attributes associated with that specific data set. So you can see these are the different variables. Those are associated with those are the data sets new cars. So you can use this procedure as well to get the informations about the attributes associated with any particular data sets in a library. So in generally we use proc contents to look that, but this is the proc datasets procedure you can use, and you can specify your data type, and definitely you will get informations about all the attributes. Another example is how to copy all the data sets in a library. So suppose I wanted to copy my data sets from one library to another library. So you can see in work library I have 4 different data sets, but in the test library I don't have anything. So I wanted to copy all of them into my this test library. So you have to use this copy statement here. You have to provide in uh, informations, which is work library, and out informations, which is my test library. So when you will run this program, all the data sets from work library will be copied and saved in the test library. So let's run this program and you will see in the real example. So now you can go and see that in the test library you have all the data sets, whatever is in the work library is copy and pasted basically here as well. So this is basically a copy paste. And the same thing, if you are not interested in moving everything here, for example, let's delete all the data sets here, and I am just interested in copying. So right now in the test data set nothing is there, and if you wanted to copy only two data sets from work library, so here you are using copy statement, and you have to write another select statement here, and you have to provide the name of the data sets here, one or more, whatever number you want, and then only specified data sets will be copied from work library to the test library. So let's run this program. So here only two data sets will be copied from work library to test library. So here you can see that only two specified data sets are copied from work library to test library. So this is a very useful things when you are do programming and you have generated so many temporary data sets in your work library, but you are interested in copying only specified one into your specific folder. Then you can use this procedure. It's very useful in real programming. And this is the another example where how to move data sets from a library. So here basically you are copying one data sets from one library to another library. This is copy and paste. But here when you use move option, then this is a cut paste. That means if you will specify any data sets here, then it will be removed from your in library and it will be moved to the out library. So for example, here new shoes data set is here in work library, and I'm using move option here. So when you will run this program, what will happen, new shoes data set will be moved from a work library to a test library. So let's run this program and see what is happening here. So let's go to the library. Now you can see, so new shoes data set is now is moved from work library to test library. So this is basically cut paste, like when you were using in your computer. So this is very similar to that. So for uh, just copying, you have to use copy, you don't have to use any option, but if you will use move option, then it's basically removed from the in library. And for example, so now coming to the next example where how you can delete the whole library and whatever the data sets in that library using the proc data set. So for example, I have work library here and I don't have any data sets here in test2. I'm copying one data sets here basically. Let's copy like all three of them, then it will be easy to understand. So now new class as well. So I'm copying here so that I can show you how you can use the skill option to delete all the data sets in a library. So when you will run this program, what will happen, all these data sets are now copied to the test2 library from work library. So it's not moved basically. So what is happening here, when you will use the proc datasets procedure to delete all the data sets in that library. So you have to use skill option here. So when I will run this program specifying the library which is test2 here, it will delete all the data sets present in this library. So let's run this program and look what is actually happening here. So now you can check all the data sets in test2 library is deleted. So this option is like you wanted to kill your library or delete everything from that library, you have to use these options. And you can also specify any particular data set as well if you don't want to delete everything. So let's again do this job, moving the data sets from work library to test library again. And here you have to specify. For example, here I'm using kill option. Here you don't have to use kill option. You have to write the delete statement here. So, and you are interested in deleting only new year, for example, and I'm deleting from the test2 data set library. So in this case, what will happen, it will delete only specified data sets from the this library. So this is very useful, like if you are mentioning 2 or 3 or 10, whatever number you want, you can delete that number of data set, whatever is mentioned in the delete statement. So let's run this program. So this is another very powerful use of the proc datasets procedure, and you will see that specified datasets is now removed from the task2 library. So this is very useful, like not only the whole library datasets, but specifically any datasets can be removed from any library when you are mentioning here. So another example of proc datasets procedure is how to rename SAS datasets. So for example, I wanted to change the name of any datasets in a specific library. So you don't have to write the data steps programming. You can do it through the proc dataset. So for example, I am interested in changing the name of these datasets. So for example, new car, I wanted to change as a new motors, and I wanted to change the new class as a new class 2. So in that, you can do that renaming using the change statement. So here I'm using the change statement, and you have to specify your older datasets name and equal to your new dataset name here. So that way you can do that, and you have the statement, the first statement is very much same. Proc datasets, specify your library and meta type is data here. And when you will run this program, so it basically changed the name of the data sets specified in that library. So now you can see that the new motors and new class 2, so these data sets is now came when I run this program. So this was very useful procedure where you can basically change the name of any data sets. And you can do few other jobs using the proc datasets procedure here. So for example, you can combine different data sets. So instead of using the set statements, you can use proc datasets also. For example, here I'm generating two new data sets here, the same data sets, basically giving two different name here. So new class 1 and new class 2. So you can see that here is a new class 1 and new class 2, two different data sets are coming. All the variables are same here. So when you will use proc data sets, you have to specify your library, and you have to use append statements here. So you have to specify out data sets, and you have to write the data sets that is going to be append. So what will happen, like the new class will combine all the two data sets together. So this will be very useful and simple when you have all the variables are same in both the data sets. But if not, then you have to use the force option to append basically. So let's run this program, and you will see that how it works actually. So now you can see here, as I mentioned, that in this program, class 1 will be basically appended. So it will have like more data sets here. You can see it's 38, usually it's 19 in one data set. So this is how it works, and how you can use the proc datasets procedure for combining the different SAS datasets. And the last things I wanted to mention about the proc datasets, also useful for labeling any for labeling the datasets also, and also for labeling the variables name also. So for example, I'm using this new class. So its new class is not here. I'm going to mention is the new class 1, and I'm going to label this data sets also. If this is labeling of data set, not the variables, and I can format also any specified variables, and I can also label any specified variables in that data sets. And contents, I'm just to look at what variables are on that data sets to confirm that changes has been done or not. So let's run this program. Here everything looks good, like you have to use proc datasets statements and you have to write modify statements here. So modify statements basically for changing informations of format or label of any variables or datasets, and for the basically change is for changing the name of the data set. So these are the few things you have to remember, because these are a little confusing. So when you will run this program, what will happen, like let me see, so work class also, this one is let me so this one I missed the wrong information here. So let's rerun this program. So you will see that the information has been updated, the format has been changed, and label is introduced here in these variables as mentioned in the program. And also label of the data sets also be done, like this data set is labeled with the students class list as mentioned here actually. So a few things here you have to remember, that there is a modify statements that you can use to modify the data information of whatever the attributes are there. Yeah, change statements, you can change the name of the data sets, and if you have a copy statement, you can copy from one library to another library, and you have a move option, from you can permanently move from one library to another library. So these are the few very basic information about the proc data sets that are very useful in real programming. And when you will go for the SAS advanced certification exam, these questions are basically asked every time. So thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe my channel.